You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. Weird. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. Weird. You're weird. You're weird. You're.
And what's up, YouTube? Y'all know what it is. Your boy Wag back with another edition of Weird News with Wag. And yes, we trying to catch up, so we ain't gonna belabor no more. We just gonna get it rocking. And without any further ado, let's get weird, baby. So first story comes to us in Georgia, where a young man and a young lady, they're on their first date. You can imagine first date, all the butterflies and the jitters, just trying not to, not to mess up in front of them, do something that's not going to impress them or unimpress them or set them. And yes, the couple, they went for a hike through a state park there in Georgia. They were going over this waterfall when it started to rain, and they both slipped and they both fell 4 stories down. Young lady, she ended up hitting her face on a rock and breaking several bones in her face. He ended up falling on his side and yes, broke his shoulder and tore his rotator cuff, all really bad. So they both had to be rushed to the hospital, taken to the ER. Everything both had to happen that way. And yes, the craziest thing is when he woke up and she woke up, they both were asking for each other. So the nurses and everything, they took them and they put them both in the same room so they could heal together. Aww, right? So yes, you can imagine that. But yes, thankfully they're able to work it out. The couple you'll see in the video is in good spirits and they're actually still together. We still together. I don't know if you remember that from In Living Color back in the day, but yeah, that's what that is. So, but yeah, the couple's in good spirits. They're still together, still living life. Everything is going on good. And yes, we'll see how it goes. I imagine with something like this happening on your first date, that's going to create that bond that, of course, be there forever, maybe. But I imagine, she would probably be thinking, oh, there's somebody else you're thinking of after all we done been through? Huh? I can imagine that. I'm just playing. But yes, that's what it is. So I'll let you see the video, man. Peace.
How romantic. A picturesque waterfall, the perfect place for a first date. What could go wrong? How could such a magical location turn into what's being called the worst first date ever? Just ask Jordan Barrett and Zania Robinson. They met when they were standing in line at a convenience store in Georgia. He asked her out on a date.
We made it to this beautiful waterfall. We were about to leave, and it just started to rain.
They started slipping on the wet rocks.
We were both struggling to stop, but he was able to catch himself, and I slid right past him.
They plummeted 40 feet.
I went face first, so when I hit the rock, I crushed a whole bunch of bones in my face, underneath my eye, messed up my teeth pretty bad.
Jordan was badly hurt too, fracturing his shoulder blades and tearing his rotator cuff. Rushed to the hospital, they healed side by side, and pretty quickly it turned into a love connection, despite that disastrous first date.
I asked her to be my girlfriend.
After this first date, what was your answer, Zania?
Yes.
Finding love after the worst first date ever.
All right, man. Next up, first, give you a 3 for. Yep, 3 for this first video comes in China. You're gonna see this guy is driving to work, and all of a sudden these ducks come, and these ducks literally surround his car. So they're literally walking in circles around the dude's car. Yeah, so he can't go anywhere because there's ducks everywhere, literally walking in circles around his car. What are the odds? And then what are the odds somebody has it on dash cam behind him? You can imagine going to work and telling your boss, say, bro, I was late. Why were you late? Because ducks surrounded my car. I mean, for real, quack, quack. Daffy and his friends were around my car. So, yes, and they'll be like, all right, yeah, right, whatever. And then it's not till they get home that night and see the video on the news. They're like, oh, dang, I guess he was correct. Dang. Is what that is. You can imagine that. But yes, it's pretty crazy. Something good to see. Second video is at this school in Africa. Yes, the school in Africa. You'll see at this school in Africa, people were this snake handler came and he was brought out these pythons or boas. I can't remember which one, but yeah, he brought out these snakes to the school. These big old snakes. You see, these kids are not about it. Soon as he brings them out, these kids is gone. They're climbing all over each other, trying to get up out of there, and I can't blame them. That's what it is. But yes, the kids just not a fan. It's fun to see their reaction. Last video, this young lady, she was trying to act like she was Tarzan, swinging from one tree to another. It didn't work out too well. It didn't work out. So I'll let you see. But yes, check it out. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
For some Tarzaners.
All right, next up, we go to England. This young man was driving, and yes, cops tried to pull him over. Home dude took off in a Ford Fiesta. Why are you trying to get away in a Ford Fiesta? But okay. But yes, he was trying to get away. Homie was going over 100 miles an hour trying to get away. You'll see he eventually crashed into the back of this truck. You can imagine the truck driver. He's just going on down the road, fadoo. Probably got his burrito in his hand, you know, listening to some good music when all of a sudden, you know, comes happening right there behind him. So yes, you'll see the young man bounces off the truck, and the police car, of course, flying over 100, ends up wrecking into the dude when he bounces back into them. So it looks like it's in a movie or something. But amazingly, yes, made crazy enough it wasn't in a movie. But yes, you'll see in the video, the young man was caught, charged, got his license taken away, as probably should have. But yes, just pretty wild to see how it worked out. Thankfully, he's alive and all this good stuff. But I'll let you see the video. Peace.
A teenager was pursued driving over 100 miles per hour before this frightening crash. Police in Humberside, England released video of a high-speed chase through the East Yorkshire countryside. They say a 19-year-old behind the wheel of a Ford Fiesta took a joyride that could have taken lives.
0 miles an hour.
The driver swerved dangerously between lanes as police pursued his vehicle. But a swerve at the wrong time sent this compact car slamming into a 29-ton truck, then ricocheting back off of the police car. Authorities rushed in to save the drivers of the speeding car and the truck. Fortunately, the truck driver and the police officer only had minor injuries. The 19-year-old was in a coma for 4 days following the collision that took place in July 2022, and according to police, he is still recovering. This week, the driver was given a 12-month prison sentence, but he avoids jail time because the sentence was suspended for 2 years. A judge also banned him from driving for 2 years. He'll have to take an extended driver's license test before he gets that privilege back. This is Inside Edition Digital.
All right, man. Next up is a forfer. I don't know if that's anywhere near a term, but forfer that anybody uses. Quattro. Yes. But yes, 4 videos in one. First video came up, as you'll see right here. This brother's trying to do a flip on the playground equipment at this playground. Didn't quite work out too well. You probably better not try gymnastics. That's not in your lane, bro. But, you know, good luck. Maybe with some work he can get it down. But yeah, there you go. Second video actually happened at this coffee shop in Houston. These kids were filming this. These guys were filming this podcast there, when all of a sudden this SUV came up and hit right behind them. A Suburban or a Tahoe had literally hit right behind where they're at. So yeah, had to jump out of the way. You'll see them talking to the cops and everything going on from there. So yes, pretty big thing, right? Third video is what you'll see. This guy was riding a motorcycle. He ran into the back of his car at the light that was already stopped, and he flipped up and landed on their windshield. You can imagine sitting at the light, probably on your phone, checking that text that came through that you want to check while you was driving. And then you have somebody hit you, and then you all of a sudden feel this bump in the back hitting you, and then they land on your windshield like, bro, what the is going on? It's supposed to be a normal Tuesday. What's popping? But yes, that's what ends up happening. And yes, it's pretty crazy. But yes, and the last video, this guy, he was chilling. He was letting this girl trying to mount their flat screen TV on the wall. And not that I'm against her doing it or anything, but if it's it's the TV that I done bought, spent the money on, I want to make sure that thing is okay. So I'm not trusting anybody else in the world but me. She could help me do it, or my cousin or friend or homeboy, the repairman, could help me do it. But I'm doing this unless I'm, you paying somebody, of course. Then they take the risk. But other than that, no, I'm doing this TV. It's on Wag. It's on me. But yeah, she accidentally falls and breaks the TV, and he's like, "What?" is what you'll see. But maybe you should have got up off that couch and did it yourself. That's just my thought. But yeah, I'll let you see the video, man. If you tell me what you think, man, peace.
I see me get on this man. Come on, bro.
Bro, I want my money if you don't do it, bro.
It got so quiet in here. How did I? I think we're fine. I think we got all the audio on there.
Yeah, we're chilling. Everyone's good.
Holy shit. Oh my god. What the fuck just happened, dude?
Oh, not another car. I'll buy my car. It'll be posted on your Instagram. I can get November Romeo on YouTube. It'll be posted. That's perfect.
Oh my god, bro!
All right, next up, we go to Alabama, where this couple, they give birth to 2 sets of twins in 13 months. Yes, 2 sets. As if one wasn't enough, now you get 2. So it's crazy how life throws that in. But the couple, they had been married a couple years when they had a set of twin boys. Yep, twin boys, gonna be up running around. So yes, they held off a little bit, chilled. But like 4 months later, they started trying for, one more kid. They figure have one more kid and we're good, right? Have a set of 3 and we're good. But yes, she ended up conceiving, getting pregnant, and they come down and they come to find out that yes, she's pregnant later on, but not just 1 kid, but 2 kids, and now it's twin girls. So now you got set of boys and set of girls, all within 13 months of each other. So their household is gonna be rocking. It's gonna be rolling. They're gonna be all over the place, man. It's going to be interesting time. But yes, they seem like a real lovely couple. They said moms was helping out. I'm sure they're going to need plenty of help because that's what that is. Twins running my family. I don't know about y'all. Me and my missus was scared to death that we were going to have a set of twins. It's hard enough to keep up with 1 kid. So 2 at once. My sister had twins. My cousin had twins. I got another cousin that had twins all over. So yes, it's just what it was. But crazy enough, all 4 of my kids came out one at a time. Amazing, right? But yes, I'll let you see how the video goes. You can see their story, and yes, shout out to them. So if you got twins, but hit it in the comment how you and your twins is doing. My twin nephews is doing good. They're both playing football, both rocking it. Collierville Heritage. Shout out to my twin nephews, Demarius and Demarche. Kid doing your thing. But yes, hit it up in the comment section if you had twins or know a family member had twins and something like that. So, all right, peace.
Doctors say the odds are 1 in a million, but this couple just had 2 sets of identical twins about a year apart.
These parents have their hands full. They had 2 sets of identical twins 13 months apart.
Uh-oh.
What are the odds?
There are no odds.
Brittany and Frank Alba were married just 2 years when they welcomed twin boys, Luca and Levi.
We were not expecting it, to say the least, but it's definitely a blessing.
The twins are typical boys, always on the go.
I think it would be okay if we just stuck with these 2 and didn't have any more kids.
But only 6 months later, Brittany was pregnant again. This time it was twin girls. But this pregnancy was much more complicated. Brittany's twin girls not only shared a placenta, but also the amniotic sac, a phenomenon that only happens with 1% of twins.
Since they are essentially swimming in the same sac, their cords can become tangled in a knot, and unfortunately the rate of stillbirth in these twins is high.
Brittany spent 50 days in the UAB Women's and Infant Center in Birmingham, Alabama, where Lydia and Lindley were born perfectly healthy.
Daddy's little girls.
The new challenge? Wrangling 2 sets of twins.
It's like a circus.
And their grandmas can't get enough of all the cuteness times 4.
Never a dull moment, always exciting, a lot of work, but worth every single minute.
All right, first video. Yes, you'll see this guy. He is at this hotel hanging out with his fam, and he sees this opportunity. He thinks, hey, I can do this. Even though he probably ain't done nothing this athletic in 12, 14 years when he used to play football, run track, or tennis or something. But yes, there's this opening over the pool where this window used to be, and he thinks I could run down the hallway and run full speed and dive to the opening and land over this walkway where the pool is into the pool. Crazy thing is, you can see in the video, they have glass around the pool, because I guarantee you somebody else probably thought they were Superman and thought they could do it too. So they probably had to prevent people so they wouldn't get hurt, get a lawsuit or something. And I would say so, and that's what's going down. But yes, you'll see the guy does it and he fails miserably is what it is. So absolutely nuts, but he had to learn his lesson. So there you go. Second video was at this Popeyes. This guy went in to order some chicken. And yes, he had his gun in his pocket. When he reached in his pocket, somehow he hit the trigger. And yes, the gun shot into the floor. He tried to play it off like it was the sound the door had made, but I think that the video is in Louisiana, so my people probably know what the gun sounded like, what a gun sounded like. So yes, they started looking around trying to figure it out. He's like, ha ha ha, yes, the door, shut that door is what he's playing it off as. But you could tell clearly, nope, it's the gun. It wasn't until the manager went back and reviewed the footage, that's when they saw from the hole in the floor that, yep, homie had a shot a gun in the store on accident. So I'll let you see the video, man. Peace. And yes, there you go.
Все, не комментируйте, вы мешаете.
Давай, пупсик!
Ну, если он творится, ладно.
Вот эта группа ЧП, группа зайца, и сейчас дохуя просмотров.
Look at y'all. I can't put not another lace in my head. My skin is gone. Like, am I dying? Like, look at this. Oh my f***ing God.
I have no clue.
What was it? I think he walked out. Like, I don't know.
I'm guessing so.
That was loud for being the door. Yeah. What was that?
I have no clue. I'm working on belly breathing.
All right. God damn. It smells like damn something burning.
Open the door.
All right, next up, this video took place on a airplane ride from LA to Boston, you know, 5, almost 6 hours that you got to fly. And as they were flying, this guy went ballistic, really. And yeah, homie started screaming that he'd kill everybody on the plane and everything. First, one of the other passengers was talking to him, trying to get to his name, calm him down and everything. And it only seemed to incite the guy even more. He started yelling that he was going to kill everybody on the plane again. And yeah, he wanted them to bring SWAT to come kill him and shoot him down, all this stuff. So yes, homie then just lost it and went after one of the flight attendants. And thankfully, several of the passengers on board knew that, hey, if they wanted to be safe, they were going to have to create their own safety. So they jumped up and they grabbed the dude. And yes, all these people started laying on the dude. They were able to zip tie his hands and hold him down until they were able to finally land. And yes, stuff just didn't work out too well at all. I imagine you spend all your money trying to fly, and then this dude losing his cool, going crazy, and, you know, may not be there all the way there, mentally maybe a little unstable, and yes, going wild like this. So yes, you can imagine all that trouble. But I'm just glad that they were able to safely get him subdued, and yes, get the plane down, and yes, everybody's able to get on moving with their day. But heck, pretty crazy situation. So if you had any crazy flight mishaps, hopefully you haven't, but hit me up in the comment section below. Let me know. I've had a few, but I won't waste your time anymore. But yes, we could chop it up, talk about all that. So, all right, man. Peace.
We're hearing today from the brave airline passengers who took on a madman mid-flight.
I'm taking over this plane.
The nightmare began 5 hours into a United flight from Los Angeles to Boston.
I will kill every man on this plane.
33-year-old Francisco Torres began ranting after he allegedly tried to open an emergency exit door.
Tell them to bring SWAT to shoot me down, because they're going to have to shoot me down today.
He was getting louder, kind of twisting in a seat.
Lisa Olson was seated 2 rows in front of the crazed passenger and captured the terrifying cell phone video that the whole world is watching today.
I don't care if I'm scared of him. I don't care.
The guy in back of him was trying to calm him down, ask him his name, ask him questions, but he seemed to be getting, more irritated from that.
Since I'm taking over this plane.
He jumped into the aisle, brandishing a broken metal spoon, and headed for the cockpit, lunging at a flight attendant. But the passengers on this plane were not going down without a fight. Courageous men and women got out of their seats, went after the madman, and took him down. First this guy, then another, and this woman, and more right behind them. They keep coming. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They secured Torres' hands and feet with zip ties.
That person was subdued and is being detained right now. However, it's not going quietly. He's just laying there with 6 able bodies on top of him.
Was there a sense of, hey, we got to band together and get control of this guy?
It was amazing to see that, all these men were just, they didn't hesitate. They just jumped right in.
What do you think about the way passengers on this flight handled this situation?
Oh, that was excellent.
Alfred Burgess is a retired air marshal.
The passengers, they did what they needed to do, and I have to commend them.
Let's roll, come on. Ever since 9/11, when the heroes of United Flight 93 confronted the terrorists with the now legendary fighting words, "Let's roll," airline passengers have been stepping up in emergencies. In this case, the flight landed safely, but it could have been a different story if these brave citizens hadn't stepped up to the plate.
Okay, now flip the Rock moves, but the 1998 Rock moves. But yes, you got a 2 for coming up right here. First videos, what you'll see is this guy comes up to this lady's door. He was, I don't know if y'all remember the video I showed y'all 3 weeks ago. I'll see if I can put in the link before, but where the guys kept coming up to this lady's house in Plano, looking to see if she wanted to get down with them, and thinking it was a brothel or whatever. And yeah, the lady had no idea what was going on. Well, this is the same situation. Evidently, there's more of these scams happening on these pay-to-play websites. You know what I mean? And yeah, this guy, he gets hit up by one of these. They just give random people addresses, and yeah, he just decides to go. And yes, he's knocking on the door asking the lady, hey, you Fifi, and all this stuff. And yes, he knew it was probably not what it really was, but I guess he figured he would try. He already paid his money. So he even comes out and asks the lady, he didn't want to leave empty-handed. Hey, you want to get it on? You want to get it in? And she's like, no, bro, my husband is right here on the couch with a gun. If her husband was right there, I don't know, but that's a great diversion, great tactic. You know, here's that gun. You definitely ain't gonna want to think about, you know, trying to try nothing. So, but yeah, home dude, he then slowly, reluctantly is like, all right, goodbye, good night, is what it is. So kind of crazy. But yes, let you see that. The next clip is what you'll see as well. This guy in Russia, he either loves his job, well, Ukraine, he loves the job or is very dedicated or crazy, one of them. But his whole job is to take metal, throw it into the blast furnace, and run away as fast as he can, because the blast furnace explodes. You can imagine home dude trips, and that hot metal gets over him. That's it. That's gonna burn right through to the core. So absolutely nuts. But yes, I'll let you see. Last video, probably not going to show. It's this guy Wu-tanging a cigarette. I'll put it on the link in there, but probably won't put it on there just because YouTube standards don't want to get caught up or in trouble or anything. So I'll let you see, man. Peace.
Steven here.
You got the wrong house.
I knew this was a ripoff.
Okay, what are you looking for, a Steven?
No, I am Steven. I'm looking for Fifi.
Yeah, you got the wrong house.
So, you don't want to have sex tonight?
Sir, my husband's in the living room with the gun.
Huh. Okay.
Have a good night.
Understood.
Because time is gone away from me, but it happened in Florida. This lady, she was trying to go through TSA, and they found a snake in her doggone bag when they were doing the x-ray machine. Yes, a whole boa constrictor. It was 4 feet long, so not fully long yet, but yes, you imagine they're surprised when they look in there and see it's a whole snake in there. So they asked her, and the lady said it's her service animal, which you can have all types of service animals, but a snake ain't one, baby. Just go ahead and say it. So she was able to, they gave her the choice. You can take your flight without snake. And she, of course, took the flight without snake. So I'll let you see, man. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you later, man. Peace.
What the Florida? All right, here's another one of those stories that make you go, what the Florida, or welcome to Florida, or WTF, either way you put it. Y'all, I want you to check out this x-ray. Look at the top right here. TSA says that they found a 4-foot, see that, boa constrictor inside this woman's carry-on. Oh, this was right here in Tampa at the International Airport. It happened last month. So this woman claimed that the snake was her emotional support pet.
I need some emotional support for her emotional support.
The
poor TSA agent needs some emotional support. Can you imagine?
I can't.
Like thinking, hey, what is this?
I know,
and
it's
peering
red,
into the bag?
which means it's probably hot. So as you can imagine, because infrared, Frank, as you can imagine, the airline ultimately decided that she could not bring the snake on board. You think?
What we're not going to do.
What we're not going to do, that's right, is bring a snake. People try to bring everything. There's been stories of people bringing donkeys, peacocks,
little mini horse.
snakes, chickens.
You'd be surprised
roosters.
it can fit under a seat. Yeah. No snakes,
Oh,
please.
boy.
All right, man, this is definitely it. This is definitely it for this week, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next edition of Weird News with Wag. But first video is called The Biggest Wheel of Fortune Blunder Ever. You'll see what I'm talking about. Young lady clearly had the pathway to win this trip and the money, but she missed it. Somehow she missed it. So, yes, I'll let you see, though. Second video, they actually have these cars that'll pump your gas for you in Europe. These pumps. They have these mechanical robot arms that'll pump your gas and do all that. So let you see that. And then last video, this guy in New York is tripping out about in this restaurant how good the restrooms are for the ladies as opposed to the restrooms for the guys. So it is a pretty good difference. But guys, y'all know we destroy everything, pee everywhere, all this stuff. It happens. Not all of us. I don't. But yes, that's what happens. So I'll let you see the video, man. Peace.
Yes, there is an age. Solve it or spin it, but do something quickly. You don't get
I'll
buzzed out.
spin it.
Okay. Okay, what letter for you?
I'll go with a G.
Juliana, it's your turn.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Yeah.
Fresh tropical fruit.
Yeah. You know, when that happens and you're sitting at home, you're saying, how in the world can you? But, you know, sometimes it's a word that just doesn't want to come into focus for you. It did for you, and in addition to that $650, we're sending you to the island of Antigua. Listen to this.
Nah, this gotta be a joke. This gotta be a joke. This gotta be a joke.